The biggest dreams are often born from the deepest pain. Okay, take a second and really let that sink in. Before we even get to the title of today's explainer, I wanted to start right there. It sets the absolute emotional core of what we're about to unpack. So often we look at monumental success and we just assume it was born from privilege or having endless resources. But what if the exact opposite were true? What if the fuel for the world's most incredible achievements was actually forged in moments of utter despair and loss? Keep that quote in the back of your mind, because it is the absolute philosophical anchor for the incredible true story we're exploring today.
All right, let's dive into this. Welcome to our explainer on the architect of hope, from orphan to global benefactor. Today, we're breaking down a truly fascinating narrative. We're going to systematically look at exactly how a young boy with literally nothing to his name, an orphan, managed to build the world's largest charity. We'll trace the exact steps, the pivotal decisions, and the unshakable mindset that took him from rock bottom to a position of global influence. It's an absolute masterclass in resilience, and I am so pumped to guide you through this journey.
So, Section 1, a promise born from pain and the spark of empathy. Every great structure needs a foundation, right? And for our subject, Michael, that foundation was poured on a cold, rainy night at a struggling orphanage. We're introduced to Michael as a 12-year-old kid. The conditions? Tough. Resources are incredibly scarce. But on this specific night, Michael does something that defines the rest of his life. He takes his own dinner and hands it over to a brand new hungry kid who just arrived at the orphanage. It's a simple, quiet action, but it's the exact moment his life's trajectory begins to shift. When the orphanage manager, a really kind woman named Mrs. Grace, sees this happen, she asks him why. Why give your food away? His answer was simple: because I know what hunger feels like. The crucial takeaway here is that his pain didn't make him bitter. It made him profoundly empathetic. Mrs. Grace used that exact moment to teach him a lesson he never forgot: that kindness is, in fact, the greatest wealth a person can possess. That night, looking up at the stars, Michael made a promise to himself. He vowed that one day he'd build a place where no child would ever have to feel alone or hungry again. But listen, a promise is just a wish without hard work. As the years passed, Michael didn't just sit around waiting for an opportunity. He manufactured it through absolute relentless grit. His days spent washing cars, his afternoons delivering packages, evenings were dedicated to cleaning offices, and his nights, well, that's when he was studying business. His best friend from the orphanage, a funny, loyal guy named Oliver, used to joke with him. He'd say, "Man, if hard work were money, you'd already be a billionaire." It's a hilarious line, but it perfectly illustrates the sheer volume of effort Michael was putting in behind the scenes way before anyone actually knew his name. And that intense period of grinding leads us right into our next chapter, Section 2, the currency of honesty, and a truly pivotal choice. You see, you can work hard your entire life, but eventually your character is going to be tested. For Michael, that test came when he stumbled onto a lost briefcase, and this thing was stuffed to the brim with cash and highly important business contracts. His friend Oliver whispered that this was it. This was their ticket out. This money could instantly solve all their problems and pull them right out of poverty. It was a massive, life-altering temptation sitting right there in his hands. But Michael chose to return it. He tracked down the owner, a highly successful entrepreneur named Mr. Anderson. And Mr. Anderson's reaction was striking. He didn't just offer a cash reward, he offered an apprenticeship. He told Michael, "I can teach business, but honesty cannot be taught." By returning that briefcase, Michael proved his integrity was absolutely unbreakable. In a single moment of honesty, he bypassed a quick payday and instead earned himself a powerful, lifelong mentor who would change everything. A real game changer. Under Mr. Anderson's wing, Michael began constructing his empire, and he did it following 4 exact steps. Step 1, deeply learn the mechanics of business from his mentor. Step 2, start a small, manageable company. Step 3, and this is absolutely critical based on his own history, hire honest employees. He prioritized character over literally everything else. And finally, step 4, expand methodically. Now, Mr. Anderson drilled a very specific philosophy into Michael's head during this time. He taught him that money isn't the end goal. Money is simply a tool, and it's a tool that should be used to build lives, not just to hoard wealth. Which leads us seamlessly into Section 3, Profit with a Purpose, and the true goal of wealth. As Michael's company expanded and started generating real capital, it inevitably caught the attention of other players in the business world. And, well, not all of them shared his altruistic vision. Enter Victor Hale, a ruthless businessman who believed in focusing only on profit, purely a transactional mindset. But Michael's response was deeply rooted in his past. He said, success means nothing if nobody benefits from it. This is a massive clash of diverging philosophies. Actually, take a second right now and reflect on your own definition of success here. Are you building just to accumulate, like Victor? Or are you building to elevate others, like Michael? Ultimately, Michael turned Victor down flat, choosing his purpose over a quick, massive payout. And that purpose quickly materialized. Michael used his company's profits to open his very first small orphan home. He even brought his old friend Oliver on board to be the manager, which brings us to a pretty incredible number, 500. It turns out Oliver was a great friend, but maybe a slightly over-enthusiastic inventory manager. When they were outfitting the new orphan home, Oliver accidentally ordered 500 teddy bears instead of 50. It's this hilarious, chaotic mistake, but the kids were absolutely thrilled. They were celebrating amidst a literal mountain of stuffed animals. It was a moment of pure, joyful chaos that proved Michael's dream was finally coming true. But the joy of that first home was soon overshadowed. We have to look at how Michael handled adversity at scale. This brings us to Section 4, Surviving the Economic Crisis, and the ultimate test of his core values. Out of nowhere, a massive economic downturn hit the country hard. Revenues plummeted, and panic completely set in across the business sector. The intense, logical pressure from outsiders and financial advisors was unanimous. Michael needed to shut down the orphan homes immediately to stop the bleeding and save his core corporate enterprise. But when pressured by these advisors to close the charity, Michael's leadership truly shone through. He simply stated, "We built this to help people in difficult times, not only in easy times." It's so powerful in its clarity, isn't it? He flat out refused to abandon the mission just because it became inconvenient. And what happened next is incredible. This unwavering loyalty to his cause so deeply inspired his corporate employees that they actually volunteered to keep working just to keep the homes open. And when word got out about this internal sacrifice, it drove an absolute surge in outside donations, saving the entire operation. Overcoming that crisis cemented his company's reputation completely. We are now moving into the climactic payoff of our explainer. Section 5, A Legacy of Hope, and the ripple effect of his actions. Jumping forward in time, that 12-year-old boy who gave away his dinner is now universally recognized as one of the world's richest entrepreneurs. But instead of building luxury palaces or buying super yachts, he focused on unprecedented impact. He built vast networks of schools. He funded state-of-the-art hospitals. He constructed countless modern orphanages and established massive food centers. He took the tools of business and applied them entirely to human welfare. It was an operation so vast and so effective that a major magazine famously ran the headline, "Former Orphan Builds World's Largest Charity." He had literally architected a global system of hope. Naturally, the media was pretty baffled by this level of philanthropy. During a massive press event, a reporter point-blank asked Michael why he gives so much of his fortune away when he could easily just keep it all. And Michael, with the exact same smile he had as a boy, gave a simple answer. Because someone once gave hope to me. It connects his global empire right back to the very beginning of our explainer, back to Mrs. Grace and that rainy night. He never, ever forgot where he came from. The true scale of his work, however, isn't just in the physical buildings he constructed. It's in the human capital he nurtured. Thousands of children graduated from Michael's schools and orphanages. They grew up to become doctors, teachers, engineers, and even entrepreneurs themselves. Mrs. Grace, watching all this unfold years later, made the most profound observation. She told Michael that he didn't just change lives, he changed generations. He broke the cycle of poverty and completely replaced it with a cycle of achievement and giving. Which brings us to a beautiful, full-circle moment. Now a titan of industry, Michael decides to go back and visit the very same old orphanage where his journey began.
As he's walking the halls, a little boy, an orphan, much like Michael once was, approaches him. The boy looks up and asks him an incredibly poignant question. Can someone without parents become successful? It's a question filled with so much doubt. It carries the heavy weight of a child who feels like the world has already counted them out. Michael kneels down so he is right at eye level with the boy, and he delivers the defining message of this entire story. He says, "Your future isn't written by what you lost. It's written by what you choose to become." It is a phenomenal shift in perspective. He doesn't dismiss the child's pain, not at all, but he forcefully rejects the idea that pain dictates destiny. Our choices, our grit, and our integrity, that is what writes our future. That is the central, unshakable theme of Michael's entire life. And that brilliantly illustrates the core takeaways we've compiled for our final slide today. Kindness is the greatest investment you can ever make. Success isn't measured by your bank account, it is measured by the lives you change. Dream big and always, always give back. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to carry with you. Look at your own life, your own work, and your own goals. When the book is finally written on you, how will your success be measured? Will it be by what you acquired or by what you built for others? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey today, and keep learning.